Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jacob Kaufman, I'm the Nerd on the Street, and today we are taking a look at GNOME Games. So I just kind of thought that this video would be fun to make, and maybe fun for you guys to watch. Computers come with games. Ever since really old versions of Windows, and probably really old versions of Mac too, computers have come pre-installed with games. Solitaire and Minesweeper have always come with Windows, Chess has always come with Mac OS, and Linux doesn't come with any games inherently because Linux is not really a full operating system. Linux is just the kernel. But when you install a desktop environment, sometimes those desktop environments come with games. So in this video, we'll be looking at all of the games that come with GNOME. Now these don't always install on your computer when you install GNOME, but they are the official games that are made to be packaged with GNOME. So there might be like a minimal installation of GNOME that you can do if you install GNOME from a distributions repositories, and then there's a full installation. And if you do the minimal installation, obviously games are not something that you need, but if you do the full installation, then you should get these games. And if you don't, then there should be a package in your distro called GNOME Games. And that might change soon actually, because the GNOME website no longer has the GNOME Games listed on there. So yeah, they might not be calling these the official GNOME Games anymore. They might have dropped that whole act. Or maybe somebody just deleted the wiki page for no reason. I don't really know. But yeah, just for old time's sake and for something to do, I thought I would show you guys the GNOME Games. Alright, so here we are on the desktop. I am running the newest version of GNOME, I believe 3.14. I know the next version is obviously in the works. But yeah, you can see I'm using GNOME version 3.14. So yeah, we're going to take a look at the GNOME games in their current state. Right now, the first game, we're going to go alphabetically here, is Acell Riot. And Acell Riot is a solitaire game. You can see it says Klondike in the title bar. That's because that is the current game that we're in. Klondike is a form of solitaire. It's a game that you can play in solitaire. I don't really know how to play Klondike though, so I'm going to go to Game and then select Game. And you can see these are all of the different games that you can select for solitaire. For instance, I know how to play Spider Solitaire because I used to use Windows XP when I was little, so I can select Spider. And now we have Spider Solitaire. So yeah, it's pretty standard, nothing huge, nothing revolutionary, but it's your good old solitaire games. So if you ever want to spend some time playing solitaire, avoiding work, then this is how you do it. Yeah, go to Game, select Game, and there are a ton of different solitaire games that you can play, including Spider Solitaire. So yeah, that is Acell Riot. Next up we have good old Chess. What would an operating system be without Chess, of course? And by the way, most of these GNOME games you can just resize and your game board will get bigger with the resizing. So if I go back to actually Acell Riot, you can see, I know that was a little small, so we can actually just drag it and make it bigger, and it will, stretch things to an extent. It retains its aspect ratio, so yeah. Yeah, so back to Chess, it's Chess, starts a game for us. By default, to control, you click on your first piece, click on the second piece. Looks like we're actually playing with ourselves, so we'll go to New Game. Do we have options for this? If we go up to Preferences, I know you can't see the Preferences box, but if you go to the game's Preferences, Opposing Player, alright. Right, so I cannot set this to play against a computer. The reason why that is, this is actually a front end. This is not an entire chess game, this is a front end for a chess game that was already installed. So yeah, maybe the back end does not have the computer player installed or something. It's a little not fun when I'm by myself. But if you have friends, then you can play chess together. And I can go here, take that guy, just captured my own person. So yeah, that is Chess. 5 or More is one that's not as popular. I'm sure it's plenty popular with people who play GNOME games a lot. 5 or More is, let me see if I remember how to do this. You have to match 5 or more beads of the same color, marbles of the same color together. So I can move this guy down here and then move this one up here. Just gonna see if I can get a point. I can't remember if they have to be in a row or if you can just, alright, well those were in a row, and then let's see if I can do it not in a row. And that's 4, 5, oh no, they do have to be in a row. So yeah, you move beads around and you want to get them in a row, and then as you move them, more beads will get placed on the board. Looks like however many spots you move is how many beads are placed on the board. So yeah, you try and eliminate all of the marbles. And I called them beads, but they are marbles. And we can go and change these to other... There are normally multiple appearances in most of the GNOME games, so you can see, like, I think Gumball is what I would be used to. The KDE games have more 3D stuff. The GNOME games really are going to 2D, as GNOME itself is going to flat animations. So yeah, that is 5 or more. Next is one that you should be familiar with, 4 in a row. If we go to 4 in a row, make it a little bit bigger, it is good old, I can't remember, Connect 4, that's what it's called, in the commercial space. So you can see I'm playing against a computer right now. Probably will not be able to win. Don't want to go there. I'll go here. If I go here, what? Well, no. Oh, they got me. All right. So yeah, that's 4 in a row. Again, if you go to your preferences, you can see, you can change the theme. So yeah, 4 in a row, always fun. Next up, we have Hitori. Not too familiar with this one, actually, so my apologies if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Looks like we cannot make this game board any bigger. It's not showing me the arrows on the sides of the windows. So I'm not really sure how to play Hitori, and this is a good example of how you can get help if you don't know how to play a game. On GNOME or KDE or whatever, most games come with help files that tell you how to play the game. So we'll go up. I know you cannot see the file menu, it's off of the screen, but we can go down to right above About is Help, and that will open up Hitori Help. So we can go to Hitori the game, and it will teach us how to play the game. So we have to paint out cells until there are no duplicate numbers in each row and column. So let's see, it's going to recommend we paint out the 3 for some reason, because there's a 3 over here. Alright, so now there's not a duplicate there. And then there's a duplicate here. So you can see wherever there's duplicates. Pretty easy game, it seems like. Yeah, see, there's a duplicate in that row. And I'm just doing this for the sake of time so I don't have to go through and figure out which ones to click. But you can see now there are no duplicates on any of the rows. You can't really see because there's a box in front of it. But yeah, that's Hitori. The next game is called Iagno. So in Iagno, you've got these tiles, and I think that you start out as dark. You want to keep your opponent from flipping your tiles over, and you want to flip their tiles over. So if I click there, it flipped their tile over. They just flipped one of mine over. I flipped one of theirs. And see, since they had 2 surrounding tiles, they were able to flip that one over. I could not flip this one over, because, see, you can't move there because I don't have a tile on the other side of that tile. So we just have to figure out... See, I can flip both of those since I had one way down here. Ooh, it's too bad I can't do a diagonal move there. I'm getting nowhere fast. Oh, you can go diagonally. I don't know what the deal is. Alright, so I got 3 of theirs there. Get one here. Maybe it's just whoever has more tiles wins. Alright. So, see, Dark had 30, Light had 34, so Light won. So, yeah, that is Iagno. Nice little tiles game. Next up, we have Klotsky. So, Klotsky is a game where you have to move this block down to this place down here. So to do that, you have to get other blocks out of the way. So we're trying to get this block. It's like roadblock. You have to get the big block out of the cube. So we can drag the small cubes around. And then, see, now we can move the big cube 1. We have to get all the small cubes out of the way. So it's going to be relatively easy right now because we're on a really low level, obviously. But once you get to larger levels, then it will be more difficult. So we can click, alright, so it's gonna just give us that one, that level, but if we click view puzzles down here, challenge pack. Alright, let's try that one. So see, now you have to get this cube out of the box. So if we do this, ooh, oh well. Nope. See, it seems like it's going to be easy, but it's not. Alright, see, this is more tricky. So yeah, Klotsky seems pretty fun if you're into, like, Roadblock, or I don't know what Roadblock is based off of. Roadblock is probably not the name of the actual game, but that's the name of the game that I played. that was set up like this. So yeah, that seems fun. So that was Klotsky. Next we have lights off. So the point of lights off is to turn off all the lights. Looks like we cannot make this one any bigger. But to turn off lights, you click on a block. And when you click on a block, then that block and all of the surrounding blocks, all the touching blocks, will also change their on-off state. So see, to turn these off, we just click that. Here, we have to click those. Not way too complicated, I guess. Yet. Oh, see? Now it's getting trickier. There's symmetry involved. When you get to the super high levels, it gets more difficult. See, now we've got stuff to deal with. Oh, no? Alright, so yeah, you can see lights off. Lights off is fun. I guess they're all fun. But yeah. It's another one where it's like, it seems like it's going to be super easy, but when you get up to the higher levels, it's more difficult to complete. So yeah. Next, we have Quadrapassel. Quadrapassel is basically Tetris. So this should be fun. We'll start a game. Forgot to check what the controls are. Alright, so you can do left or right, up to rotate, down to move down. Alright, I got it, I got this. Move that down. Oh, whoops, that wasn't even where I wanted that to go. Oh, no! I can't see behind the microphone very well. This is a really long board, too. So, let's see if I can get one of these rows here. For demonstration purposes, that's not going to give me anything. We got a row. Alright, so Tetris, Quadrapassel. And if you're wondering why they changed all the names, obviously it's for copyright purposes. Next we have Mahjongg. I think that's how you say it. And Mahjongg is a pretty popular game. Don't actually know how to play it. Let's see. We have to match. We have to match blocks together. Alright, that's not too difficult. Yeah, so Mahjongg, you match blocks together. Obviously, you cannot select blocks that are covered up. So yeah, that's interesting. Oh, I guess this one's covered up by this or something. Oh, that one's covered up. Okay. See, the graphics are throwing me a little bit because I can't tell what's technically covered up and what's not. Let's see if we have a more clear theme. Alright, there's a smooth theme. You can see a little bit better what's covered up and what's not. So yeah, that's Mahjongg. I am not going to make you guys sit here while I play this one, but yeah. Next is Mines, and as you can guess, it is a Minesweeper clone. So I'm really good at mines, so I'm going to do 30 by 16. Alright, so you right-click to set your flags down. If you've never played Minesweeper, this is it. There are some mines hidden in here, and you left-click to select a block, and that will either show you that it's clear, or it will blow up the mine. You right-click to set a flag down. So your goal is to not get blown up and to set all of the flags down. And there are 99 mines in this. That's a lot. Alright, so this one means that there's only one mine touching this. And since this one down here is only touching one block, that means this has to be a mine. And that also means that this cannot be a mine because this is touching this one. And if this was touching this one, then it would be a 2, not a 1. So we can click that. And obviously that means that this has to be a mine. Yeah, so Minesweeper, pretty much the same as it is on Windows. Make a guess there. Alright. And you can see if I just start clicking around randomly, then we'll quickly find a mine, and now we can see all of them. So yeah, that's mines. Next, this is my personal favorite GNOME game. It's called Nibbles. And we're going to make the screen a bit bigger. And you have to start the game manually on this one. So we're going to go up to File, New Game. And I am the red worm. And actually, it's going to go slower than this normally. But I turned up the speed because I was playing it myself a little while ago. So Nibbles is worm, or it's snake. Yeah, it's snake. That's what it's called. It is a snake game. And it is fun. You play against computers. And you get these little donuts, and those donuts are going to make your worm longer. And the green stuff is going to crash you. I'll show you. If I run into the green, I I crash. If I run into other worms, I also crash. So your goal is to get the donuts before the other worms do. You can see the score at the bottom counting up. Every time you hit something, your score goes down by 1,000 points. Like 1,002 points, it seems like. When you run out of score, game's over. Don't know why the start screen is not showing properly there, but yeah, that is Nibbles. Normally there's a little start screen. Just maybe it just doesn't want to show it. But yeah, you can go to preferences. See, I turned it up to not too shabby. You can turn it way down or you can turn it way up on the speed. And you can also play with friends, so those other worms can be human characters with other keys on your keyboard. Like I said, that's my personal favorite of all of these. Next we have robots. This is one that I am familiar with, so I'll make it a bit bigger. You're this little guy in the middle, and these are robots, and you have to move away from the robots and get the robots to crash into each other. So see, every time I move, all of the robots will move towards me. They will not take anything else into account. They will just move towards me. So you can see these two, this one's moving straight towards me, this one's moving diagonally towards me. If I go, see now this one's going to move straight, this one's going to move diagonal again, and they crash. And now since there's debris there, I can go, and now that one crashed too. Now see, there's a robot right next to me, so it's not going to let me go straight down. I can go straight up. Here you're going to want to teleport. Not sure why I don't have any safe teleports. Safe teleports will put you someplace that you know you're safe. Wait for robots is skipping a turn. I'll show you that in a minute. See, now I can just wait and have them all come to me. And I died because I clicked it too many times. But yeah, you can see there's different game modes, but that is robots. Run away from the robots. Next we have Sudoku, and Sudoku is always fun. We'll do easy just for demonstration purposes. I got really into Sudoku for a while, a long time ago, a few years ago. It's a long time for me. So yeah, Sudoku, you want to fill in the numbers 1 through 9 without having any repeat numbers or anything in any row or column. So like here I've got 1, 2, we're missing a 3. So my 3 can go, it cannot go in this box because there's a 3 up here. So it can either go here or here. Not sure which yet. What else am I missing? I'm missing 4. 4 cannot go in this row, but it could go in either of the other rows, so I'm not sure which has to be which yet. We'll just guess that that's going to be where our 3 and 4 goes. No, what else am I missing? 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're missing a 9. Alright, I selected easy. This isn't really easy, but let's do a new puzzle. Easy. It's just, it's time consuming and I don't want this video to go super long because I'm playing a game of Sudoku. But yeah, Sudoku, pretty popular game. Fill in the numbers without having any repeats in any row or column. Next we have Tetravix, or Tetravix. There we are. All right, so the point of Tetravix is you want all of the similar numbers to touch each other. So we can go over and place this. So see, we've got 2 1s touching each other. This one has a 1 on the top, so we want it there. And I think we just want all of the internal numbers to be matching. I don't think it matters what the external numbers are. Oh, but see, we cannot put that there because even though the 0s match, the 3 doesn't match on the side. And we can't put this here because even though the 3s match, the 2 doesn't match the 0. So yeah, another one that's more difficult than it looks. I'm gonna move this back over here and move these all down. This is the only one with an 8 on the top. Oh, there's one here. There's nothing with 1s on both sides. So this isn't even possible what I did because there's no block with a 1 on the top and the right. But yeah, you have to match all of the internal numbers together. Swell Foop is our next one. Swell Foop is great. And by default, your board will be small. I'm going to keep there you can see the small board, but I'm going to keep the large board. Swell Foop you can't really lose. It's more of a game of improving your score. And you see all of these different colored tiles, and when I hover over them, the groups light up. So here I've got 2 yellow tiles touching. Here I've got 4 blue tiles touching. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yellow tiles touching. So you click on groups of tiles to make them disappear, and then the remaining tiles will fall down and to the left. So see if I get tiles out of this row, these rows over here. We'll have to get a few groups before you can see how they go to the left. But see they go down and to the left when you finish rows or columns. When you finish rows, they fall down. So yeah, Swell Foop, you just want to try and get the biggest groupings as you can, because see, when you get like a 3 grouping, it's plus 1 point. When you get a 2 grouping, it's no points. But when you get like a large grouping, that was 36 points right there. So you just want to time these so that you get large groupings. See, I could get this yellow here and this yellow here separately. Instead, I'll get the green. Now I've got a huge yellow group. That got me 256 points. So yeah, you just want to see how great you can make your score. You get a lot of bonus points if you actually finish the board. Ooh. Oh, no, I can't finish the board. I'm close to finishing the board here. But yeah, see, I only had one thing left over. So yeah, Swell Foop, you want to get the biggest groupings of colors possible and end up with as few tiles as possible. Our last official GNOME game here is Tali. Tali is a dice game. Tali is similar to Yahtzee. And you want to get the best hand possible. So you can see, so you want to select score slots, if I understand this correctly. Select a score slot, try and roll your dice to get that. So if I click on full house, then 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, 25. If I click on full house, then I'll want to roll and try and get all 5s. If I click on 3 of a kind, then I'll roll, and then I'll try and get 3 of the same kind of die. This isn't going to be as fun as it would be using actual dice, obviously, because part of the fun of the game is rolling dice, and this is just randomly generating what your dice are going to do. But yeah, that's a dice game. If you want to play one, you can look at preferences, change the number of human players, game type, have different colors, I guess, if we do new game. Yeah, now we've got different colors of dice. So yeah, that is a die game. The last game I want to show you is not technically a GNOME game anymore. I don't know why it's not, because it used to be, and it's really fun. It's called gbrainy. This used to, I played this a lot, or I used to play it a lot, back when I played GNOME games and I didn't have better things to be doing. gbrainy is a trivia game. It's not just a trivia game. It's like a, I don't know really how to explain it. It's a brain teaser game and trainer, as you can see. So it's going to ask you just random questions about logic, calculation, memory, and verbal stuff, and then you see how many you can get correct. There's a Nintendo DS game called Big Brain Academy that this is sort of similar to. So see, I'm going to click all, and it will just start asking me questions. So first question is a math question. Which 2 numbers when added are 17 and when multiplied are 60? Answer using 2 numbers. So you have to figure out the answer to that and then click OK, and it will check your answer. Let me get a calculator out. This is interesting. 9 and 8 add to 17. 8 times 9 equals 72. 6 and 11, those would go to 66. 5 and 12. 5 and 12 is the answer. And so then we type in 5 and 12. And the answer is 5 and 12. Of course, some people say you're not supposed to use a calculator. I could have done that without a calculator. Once again, I don't want this to be... This video is almost 40 minutes already. Don't want it to be too much longer. But yeah, gbrainy, I don't know why they removed it from the official GNOME games. You can tell that it's older because it's... I think it's GTK 2 that it's based off of and not GTK 3. At least it looks that way. It looks like an older game with the menus and stuff, or an older program. Copyright has been updated to 2014. There's also a Windows port available. You should definitely check it out, no matter what operating system you're on, because it's really cool. Yeah, definitely check that out. What is the minimum number of square sheets of paper of any size required to create the figure? 1. So if we assume that there's one big one, let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4. So that one was a logic game, it seems like. And what's cool is it tells you, it explains why you're right if you're right. Get ready to memorize the next objects. The list below, which is the missing figure? There was a circle, right? Yeah. Oh, there were 2 circles. All right, so I might have gotten that one wrong. So this is another logic game. So see, if you put something that's wrong, then it will tell you the correct answer. It might or might not explain it. But yeah, some of them are super simple like this. Some of them are more complex, like that squares one. So yeah, gbrainy is, it would be... Well, I think Nibbles was the first GNOME game that I ever played, so it's still my favorite. But yeah, gbrainy is definitely a close second for my favorite GNOME games. So yeah, those are the GNOME games. Like I said, the GNOME Games website is actually, the wiki page has been deleted. They no longer have a wiki page for GNOME Games. So maybe these aren't official anymore. Maybe GNOME does not officially recognize GNOME Games anymore. But I will put a list of these games in the description of this video. And I definitely think that you guys should check them out because they are really fun. If you're looking for something to do, if you just got 15, 20 minutes to kill, play yourself some Snake with Nibbles, or play yourself some Solitaire with, can't even remember what the Solitaire was called. Acell Riot, yeah. So yeah, those are the GNOME games. I will be making another video for the KDE games, but for now, that's all I want to show you guys. I'm Jacob Kaufman, I'm the Nerd on the Street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.